Otherwise, there is one more key thing to note. We believe that Anna Cooper has briefly came into contact with high concentrations of negative energy before reaching our continent. As for the effects that may have, we are currently unclear, but expect that you might find undead.
Oh, that's fine.
Alternatively, expect that things may have been touched by the plane itself. You might find some oddities relating to negative energy and that sort of thing there. Should that interest you?
Nope, not at all.
It'd be fine.
Hey, it's only the plane of entropy and destruction.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Don't worry.
Oh, by the way, J-Mac.
Yeah?
As I'm sure this was very much not intended, I can move around the red exclamation mark.
Oh.
Oh yeah, so can I.
However, you are supposed to be able to click on them, because each of them have a number.
Yes, that does.
That is relating to their suggested danger rating.
Interesting.
The first level,
So-
second level.
Guys, we need to go to the abandoned structure in the top left.
Yes, as you should probably expect, most things aren't too dangerous here. However, the ruins, or the ancient temple/monastery thing, and the abandoned structure to the top west, southeast west, yeah, they are both categorized as level 2, which, for the most part, first is you should be able to handle it easily as a group, second is expect wins and such. Third is potential of danger, or danger/death, rather.
Okay, so there's none of that, because the city's been locked off.
Yes. However, I'll tell you now, this is not all there is to the map. This is just what their scouts have kind of revealed. There are other things that you'll discover as you move throughout this place. Assuming you move throughout this place. To that effect, I have another thing to mention. You'll all be sorted into groups of 6. Along with this group of 6, you'll be assigned an older classmen to essentially travel with you. They will be the ones grading you on your teamwork, on your expertise, and on your decision making. They'll also be there to help protect you should anything go wrong. On another note, while you are going to be graded as a group of 6, there's nothing from stopping you of traveling in larger groups. I'm out of character. I'm sure there's people who want to bring along their friends from other things. But unless anyone else has any other questions, the rest of the lecture is essentially restive. She does mention that each of you will be given a general kit, which will basically be like, between your groups of 6, you'll have like 3 tents, a mess kit, that sort of thing. You're not supplied with rations, however. But for everything you need to kind of camp out in the, space should you not be able to make it back to their main camp in time, you'll have that.
How long are we expected to be up there?
The longest that you'll be there is for a week. I'll also mention...
It's just with you saying we're not supplied with rations, I want to make sure I purchase enough.
Yeah. I will note, travel's going to be pretty quick. Each hour, you'll be able to travel 3 hexes.
Oh, dang.
Nice.
But I'm guessing, searching the abandoned things will be taking quite a while.
Yes. You might even find yourself in need, should something pop up, of having to move somewhere quickly.
There you go, I purchased my 14 rations.
Alright, so you eat double, don't you?
Yeah, I eat double the number of rations per day.
I'm considering whether I should take Goodberry or, a different first level spell.
I was thinking about this, because technically bananas are berries.
Yeah.
You could berry a banana.
Yes, you could.
Actually, I was thinking about this as well. Cucumbers are berries.
Yes.
You're saying, I don't have a good pun for that one. I could do good banana.
So are
pickle.
pineapples?
Yeah, but a cucumber is a lot easier to get than a pineapple.
Also, you can take.
Also,
in that
pineapples...
Case,
Yes, they actually are.
Yeah, they're an aggregate, you're right.
and in that case, you could also technically good berry a pickle.
God,
We
magic's
shall-
weird.
We shall feed this entire town through pickles.
Yes.
Magic.
So, yes.
I mean, to be fair, that's basically what medieval was a lot of anyway.
Yeah, it's
You pickled
fucking
things.
like pickles.
We don't want to do it with the pickles. The entire
Yeah,
town.
no, it's like
just the
you
pickles.
you smoked your meat and pickled your vegetables. That's just how it works.
Actually, it wouldn't work, done.
I just need fresh berries.
Fresh. Yes, freshly picked.
Okay, so well.
So I'd
then you're on
have to
Trump
pick
Live.
them up there.
They do note that there have been although the map here is very green and brown splotches, it appears to be mostly plains. They're small copses of trees, but there have been noted to be wildlife and such.
Any weird magic stuff up there? Like casting spells work okay?
Not from what we've been able to tell from preliminary investigations, but we don't think so.
Has magic
There's-
examined psychically?
No, unfortunately, those of the faculty we have, which are capable of psychic magics, aren't built for long distance.
Perfect.
But as stated before, there was the negative energy infusion. You may find some areas, any spells you have which rely on negative energy are strengthened, while those of a positive nature are perhaps dampened. However, we are unable to tell at this time where that might be or if that is even the case. But it's worth keeping in mind. Is there anything else I had to mention? Don't believe so. In which case, I'm sure you can all imagine what the groups are going to be.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, we all get split up completely. Oh no.
God, no. Never die. No, you are unsurprisingly along with Alana all group.
We don't get Princeton.
Good.
No. Wait, hold on.
Who
Where have I
are we
written?
going to blame things on now?
I'm not inviting him.
You don't get a choice.
If you're inviting him, fine. But I'm not.
The other two groups for your kind of dorm are... Who knows, maybe you'll want to invite one of the other groups to come and venture with you.
Well, group one's already dead.
Why?
That's Princeton.
They're fine. Robert. They've got Robin and Brighton. Brighton's staff. All of them are very reasonable.
I had to mention, Brighton is a very good healer. You just haven't seen that yet.
I know.
Yeah, each of these groups have been slightly balanced in that each contains an amount of casters, an amount of frontline fighters, and at least one healer. Ash is your group's healer, unsurprisingly.
I am face tank.
Yes.
That mean I'm party rogue?
Yes.
Alright.
I blow
You're
shit
good
up.
with mechanics. You're on trap duty.
Son
Oh, trap duty again.
As Aaron's sitting there making traps. What do you mean
Yeah.
this isn't what you meant?
I think Aaron would prefer that trap duty.
Yeah, definitely.
I look forward to later on when trap duty just becomes pushing Wolf into the trap.
And technically you can do that right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
those
the
episodes,
arrows and scythes just come
point
bearing
is-
down upon Wolf, and he's just striding without a care in the world.
The point is, right now, I'm still effectively mortal. In a couple of levels' time, that may not be the case.
Fair enough, Chris. I mean, depending on what you do, you might not even encounter a single trap.
Alternatively, we might encounter all the traps.
That's also an option.
I see a mine of them.
Yes, the mine's probably the greatest concentration of traps, if anywhere.
Well, this abandoned town that's probably full of undead because there would have been a lot of people in a town that would have died, which all would have been reanimated.
Two unabandoned towns.
One in the mountains and the other fairly out.
There's probably treasure in the town.
Yeah, Silas is wanting to go to town because more likely to find things tied to people.
Admittedly, unless you go north, like your other immediate options are towns.
Yeah.
Aaron, meanwhile, I'm sure wants to go to the mine.
Actually, not really.
Ipos wants to go to the temple.
Of course.
I'm very proud that I managed to get the grid like vaguely lined up.
You did.
It's a pain in the ass when you have horizontal hexes. I hate it so
Yeah.
much.
You did a good job.
Especially because like the tile set I use is 84 times 90. It's like, what are you doing?
What kind of things are you using? What is wrong with you?
This one because it looks nice.
In fairness, I always hate trying to make hex-based maps. Like, I want to for a lot of projects, I just hate doing
For nice for like overland travel, just because it's like
overland travel, kingdom building, anything like that. It's really nice to have a hex map.
yeah. Admittedly, I hated making the one that's like the big explore map for the campus. Even though I think it looks quite genius. I'm proud of myself for that much.
You've done a good job on your map so far.
Yeah. Except the dorm map, which is ridiculously big. I'm working on not making buildings as big anymore.
There's nothing wrong with ridiculously big buildings.
It's just like
I
living
mean,
room's
big
like
buildings-
60 feet wide.
Yeah, but big buildings make sense for a school.
And it also makes sense for a game where everything's measured in 5 feet, but still.
Yeah, I know.
So, what are we doing now?
It's a good question. Because now it's mostly if you have any plans to do before the trip, now's the time.
Yeah. How
Because
long
otherwise,
before-
you have roughly like under a week, 6 days roughly.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. What can I do for 6 days?
Can I
Just
talk to you
work.
about retraining a cantrip?
I mean, sure. I would say it's early enough that we haven't done that much, but if you just kind of want to do it, you could.
Okay, that's fine, because something I've realized I forgot. I forgot to detect psychic significance.
That's fair. I will say one of the things that I was doing with you, I was like, why hasn't he used detect psychic significance yet?
Yeah, I know. I didn't have it. I forgot about it.
I feel like that's a reasonable thing for Silas to have had, considering he's like, I'm psychic.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, use the spell that all psychics are expected to have. Oh, what?
Yeah, I know.
I'm a wizard!
Got it now.
I can't cast prestidigitation.
I mean, it's more like a wizard that can't cast detect magic. It's like, what the hell?
Hello.
Yeah.
You're
The main
not
problem was
weird.
I just have so few few cantrip slots, and so it's annoying to fit everything in there, considering I have to have Mage Hand as well.
Yeah, I mean, give it like a level and you get another one.
Yeah, I know. That's the big stuff. I've just swapped out Message for it instead.
It's fair. Hey, look on the bright side. Next level, you get Detect Faults.
Yep, which is gonna be
Please,
great.
please do not detect Hippos' thoughts.
He's not going to.
Good.
Hippos is kind of open most of the time.
Or
Or at the very
is
least,
he?
he's not covert enough for Silas to think that he's hiding something.
Or is he? Is he just so covert that's what he's making you think?
No.
Equals big bad guy.
Stop having. This is the third game in a row, fourth potentially,
What?
where we've joked about Tinder's characters being the big bad.
It's not my fault that you guys always
I
think
mean-
I'd have a good big bad.
I mean, I had an entire campaign where I was joking about J-Mac being the big bad.
Yeah, that's
Good
fair.
thing, that was nice.
It's because J-Mac was the big bad.
Yeah, he
No,
was evil. You were an
because
evil cleric. You
that
were
wasn't
quite
the
literally
big
like an
bad.
archetypical big bad.
What's that really? I guess that's kind
There's
of.
a number of skeletons you had in your closet as well.
Yeah,
I only had
you
like
were
4.
you were an evil cleric necromancer.
And a bard to boot.
Yeah, you had the wisdom and the charisma to actually be a big bad leader.
I wasn't even the one who took a leadership feat. It was some rumor.
When I didn't allow leave, so
Yeah,
It's fair.
yeah, exactly.
I have my lungs to chill.
Also, J-Mac, can
Mhm.
Silas look for not regular rations but fancy rations?
Fancy human rations, or is there fancy
No,
human
there
rations?
aren't fancy human rations. It's only for the races. No,
I mean,
he wants rations that aren't rations. He wants them to be nobles' rations.
sure, if you want to mark them up by like another 5 silver, I feel like
Sure,
this works.
Sure, 1 gold rations. More like the actual racial rations, but just more expensive.
Yeah, and 1 gold feels like a lot to spend on like even a meal.
And we're only staying like a week.
Yeah.
Presumably, yes.
Technically, it wouldn't be 1 meal. It'd be like 2.
True.
Yeah, it's a day's worth of stuff.
It's probably a lot of trail mix.
Yeah, that's fine. Sweetened honey cakes and all that.
Sweet and honey cakes, and you got that fancy jerky smoked with that fancy wood.
Yeah, actual smoked sausages and
Fucking Silas brings Lunchables.
He's the only one in the party with actual teriyaki jerky. Probably got like smoked pepper bacon jerky.
Turns don't make me hungry.
No. Well, you heard it here, folks. I have to stop making J-Mac hungry. I'm dropping from the campaign. Bye.
I'd be impressed if somehow you just playing a game made me hungry, unless it was like,
J-Mac, I talk about food
That's
and
true.
tea all the time.
it's true. And tea doesn't make me grow, it's just the water.
Tea just fucking excuse you.
Let's say that I'm from the UK.
Oh god.
Tea privilege. Yeah.
God, we have what, 3 people from the UK in here right now, and none of you drink tea, as far as I'm aware.
I don't like
I drink
hot shit.
tea.
You're not
You're
from the UK.
Yes.
But you could plot twist.
And to be fair, J-Mac's Scottish. That stereotype isn't meant for him.
I
Okay,
meant like
fair enough.
literally everyone up here does drink tea.
I don't.
Well, I meant like in Scotland. Yeah. For the most part, my lungs are starting to kill me now. So I think if people are fine, I'm going to end early. But if anyone has any questions or anything we want to do over the downtime, we could ever discuss that now, or
I would like to
PDMs.
ask one question.
Go for it.
I would like to be able to talk to the guy who's collecting that monster part.
Sure. Who was that again? It was Borchoi. I suppose the question is, what's your kind of line of inquiry here?
I just want to go figure out what he's about, honestly.
In which case, it's fairly easy to find him in between ways. You find a stall which is Borthwick's Brews.
Okay.
Borthwick appears to be a weirdly short half-orc. He has numerous apparatus kind of set up on his desk as he kind of lunges back and just seems to be open for any customers to come up to him.
Busy day?
I've been busier.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm first year here. I'm assuming you've been here for a while. What the hell? Gestures in general.
He gives you kind of a amused grin. What the hell being the shop or my soul? And nice to meet you.
Yes. Aaron, by the way.
The shop is weird, but it lets me have a stall here, so I'm pretty much happy with it.
Sure.
I deal in mostly alchemical remedies, tinctures, potions if someone needs something custom brewed. Otherwise, I will take parts that you find from monsters and such off your hands and use them to brew my own potions.
How's this? Aaron takes out a bunch of files from her coat and places them on their desk.
Files, as in like FILE or
Files as in, yeah, the files.
oh PHA.
Ampules.
Right, okay.
Yeah, ampules.
It's the goo, right?
Yeah.
He picks it up, lifts it to his eye, kind of tilts it to see that it's like, an oily residue sort of thing. And this is Safe
This
to
is
open?
yes. Well, I mean, it's wretched smelling, but it is harvested from a monster.
He cracks it open, takes a whiff, and okay. As he rolls an internal alchemy check. What did you say was? What specifically did this come from?
Not
What
sure.
sort of monster?
Amalgam.
Human parts.
Nah, not really human parts. It was. I mean, it looked like it ate a bit of human, but non-disclosure agreement. I'm not really allowed to.
Strange, but fair enough, I suppose. Well, I can't tell just from a glance what this I could do if this good, but give me an hour and come back and I could tell you the price if it's anything I can use it for.
Sure.
How much did you have?
I had 28 gold worth.
I'll get the Gautam, I can work with that. In which case, if you go back, he'd probably be offering, considering a cut down, probably like 15 gold for it.
Oh, come on, man. All right. Fair
You're getting
enough.
like 2/3 of what it's worth.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Unless you gotta use it to make something yourself, I don't think anyone else is gonna buy this from you.
That is true. I already used a majority of it making a refrigerator. So, yeah, I'll do that.
It's 15 more gold than you had before.
Say, I don't suppose you take just like raw parts, do you?
I could. Other people in the campus may use them for something, and I can act as an in-between. Don't pull an arm out.
I'm not going to. What I'm asking is, do you need? Because people are just going to bring you monsters because they don't know what the important bits are, right?
Sometimes. It has happened if they come from the basement very quickly, but for the most part, things don't keep too well.
Lose potency. I acknowledge that.
Yes.
It's just it's rare that I see someone who actually has a keen eye for like what's useful. I don't suppose you could like get not an apprentice per se, but some person to dig out the valuable crap. But when things,
I could use someone like that, sure.
all right. Well, keep in touch with me. Wand Dorm. Let me know if you ever need help.
He gives you kind of annoying spell. But I need money.
Yeah, I
Space
need money,
obsidian.
and I rather not. I rather get it from an official source rather than digging it out of the monsters that I kill on whenever I go to Anakapar.
Sure, I'll keep you in mind if I ever need help dissecting something big.
All right, that's probably it for the best. Otherwise, anything else I could do here? I mean, I already sold you some crap. Anything else I should keep?
For the most part, people either make money by going in the dungeon or, doing their own thing. If you can brew potions, if you can make wacky gizmos, someone will find a use for it.
All right.
That or they end up in the bargain.
Not fair. Yeah, sure, I'll keep that in mind. All right, I'll talk to you soon then.
See you wave.
Reminds me, I've got a jar I should probably sell.
I've got a jar of goo.
Yeah, I got a jar of the ancient plant goo that I picked up from that amalgam as well.
Wait.
Bottle or vial of it.
Wait, is Erin sticking her claim?
Yeah, Aaron's gonna. I mean, I don't suppose I could, yoink that off yet.
I mean, potentially. Are you offering more than he is?
I don't know what he's offering.
That's why I'm going.
I just give it to me.
What are you going to do with it?
Get an A in one of my classes.
That's it?
Yeah.
Nothing else is going to come of it?
Well, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with this metal. I haven't really thought about that far. Probably make some anti-plant grenade of some kind.
Fine. Sure, you can have it.
Thank you.
Erin has acquired a jar of goo.
I got a jar of goo.
Which is, if you find parts of creatures which have odd properties, you could attempt to treat a metal with them. In this case, it's a case of, what is this going to do? Considering we know it just kind of sucks away at ambient plant life.
Yeah, I needed some of the unprocessed crap to do that because, yeah.
And the other stuff you already said you turned to like ammonia.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining just a like a sickle or scythe or something that just has natural plant killing properties. It's exclusively used for weeding.
I mean, that could be an option, a weapon which does a little bit of extra damage to plants. Alternatively, you can make maybe like a one-use item. I need a bit thing with like nails and trees, don't they? Like copper nails to kill a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably not very much project worthy.
Right, yeah, that's not really what I was going for.
It's more of a personal use sort of thing if you ever really want it.
Right, this is more of a try to get a proper metallurgic thing.
I my lungs to behave.
In my lungs barely well.
Lungs are overrated.
Winter. Brothervine hasn't been like the plague infestation at his school. Don't know how I got ill. Actually, I know how I got ill. We went out for Christmas dinner. I bet I got it there.
Do it.
Other people, fuck you.
Good dwarf. 5 gold for a pound. Okay.
God, was Ash thinking?
Oh, I was looking at the price of salt in bulk.
Right, for, I'm assuming, warding reagents.
Yes, although I'm going to be paying double for that because I need purified salts. specifically for use in warding rituals.
That's fair.
If we're going up the asshole of unknown territory, I'm not half-assing this.
Speaking of which, I'm assuming over the 6 days Ash would be reading the book that Brighton pointed out.
Oh yeah.
So wait, how much time do we have, J-Mac, just to confirm?
You have 6 days.
Okay then.
For the most part, if Ash reads the book, what she'll notice is a lot of it's kind of maybe stuff Ash already even knows about how, like, oh, garlic to ward off vampires, salt to ward off general evil things. However, there are a few proper, like, words and seals for warding away kind of lesser malevolent beings. Which comes to the awkward part, 'cause technically Ash hasn't actually got ranks in Profession Warder yet.
Not yet.
Though I will say with the book, you can attempt get beyond the 10. Is this where I discover that Ash dumped wisdom?
No.
It could be craft wards.
That's also true. Either or, really.
I was really hoping more for the intelligence of just crafting something. Because, wards tend to be more of a permanent placement or object.
I mean, they already said that you could use craft instead.
Yeah. For the most part, for this, I'm thinking wards are kind of like the sort of thing you'd find in the building, but it's like, oh, this building repels fire, rather than using spells like permanency, because that doesn't really exist here. Or at least not in a manageable format.
I'm gonna work.
Fair enough. Work.
Wolf forgot his routine already.
You could also, if you're working for the 6 days, give me 2 rolls for rumors.
Is that 44 again?
Yes. Just did the math for myself to get rid of the thing on my list.
Ooh, bad day.
Yeah, not great. Every other day's been pretty good though. 13, 11, 10, 19, 9, 18. A few high hitters, one very low hitter.
It's 15 gold at the dot!
Math.
Which I don't know actually know what the statistics on that's to be, to get 15 gold at the dot, but...
Really low?
Low.
But that's not too bad for 6 days' work.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, done. What was the monthly living cost thing again?
Bad. I don't like.
Oh, there you go. Still living. Still worried.
I'm getting the sense in the last day, Wolf just spent more day of the day eating than he was actually serving tables.
That's fair.
At that rate, that's like averaging like 2.5 gold a day over 30
Sadly.
days. That's a pretty good living.
You're a skilled laborer, so.
Yeah, that's average living.
I
Going
mean,
up near wealthy.
Wolf's a decent cook and a decent hunter.
Yep, there you go.
God, carrying all my stuff, I'm in my heavy load.
You do have one unique advantage as part of a team.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone looks at Rusty.
Yay.
Silas, he's got mint.
Yeah. I keep forgetting about Mint.
Yep. That's what you got.
Also, rumor 11.
Right.
Silas is going to buy a little backpack just for ease of carrying things.
You mean he's actually going to carry something?
Mint is. Mint can carry 72 pounds of crap. 78.
And I knew I should have bought Humbug.
Now, Mint's carrying like all of Silas's spare clothes and his food and stuff.
Silas, thing for Anna Kapoor that I need to get done.
Yes.
Normally, Erin's very verbose and very upfront about everything. This one, she looks a little bit ashamed about.
Yes, what is it?
Can't make construct.
Yes. And?
I keep saying I can make construct, I can repair them, but I can't make them. I define core there because I'm in a Golemancy class, and its requirements are that I have to make a construct.
You do know that you do not need to perform this. You do not need to finish your projects too, correct?
It's 7% of my grade, and I better start now.
You shall look one, I guess.
Yeah.
If I come across one, I will bring it to you.
Has anybody
the
lost
same-
their eyeball?
No.
No.
You found like an eyeball in the hallway?
Give it here.
I don't just give you someone's eyeball.
Well, then hold on to it and let me look at it.
Nurse has got it, not me, so...
Who?
It's just some random person on campus. I mean, they already took it to the infirmary.
I'm assuming it's still at the infirmary then.
Probably.
Just in case someone walks in missing their eyeball.
It's probably like on ice.
How strange. It's odd. It's hopefully it wasn't a false eye, was it?
Was it squidgy?
Infirmary.
It looked pretty squidgy.
How odd. All right. Interesting. Speaking of Wolf,
Yeah.
how would you like to help defend me against horrible monsters? I mean, look at me. I'm nowhere near as strong as you are.
Defend you against horrible monsters?
Yes. Well, we're of an animal pure.
Wasn't I going to do that anyway?
I mean, I guess yes. I wanted to make this more official, though. You know.
Just roll.
Yeah.
Just
we
roll
become
with it.
friends. You know.
I'll protect you. Don't worry.
Wonderful. Here. Have a gift. Silas is going to reach into his coat pocket and pluck out a blue or red. Silas will look at him.
Red?
Blue or red?
Red.
He will pull out the red iron star piece and just pluck it in above Wolf's head. There you go. Grab it and take it down as you want.
What's this?
It is.
How's it floating?
It is an iron stone. Very, very fancy little things. And he'll pull out his iron torch and have it float above his own head. You just let them float above your head and they do things. This one's light.
Wolf is now going to proceed to see if he can get it caught in the doorframe.
You're not going to be able to. They're very smart magic items in that sense. It's not easy to remove them, as it were.
What's it do?
Well, this one, and Silas will call it the violet one, floated above his head, and Wolf will hear in his head, it lets you speak to me like this.
Well, not quite.
No, not quite.
Telepathy. It's,
Not quite.
it's empathic, like a familiar link.
Oh, okay. Then he'll just say, well, it lets you be aware of my situation or the situation of anyone else with another one like it.
I like to think Silas
What did it
released
hurt?
the Ion Stone, and Wolf just immediately got an overwhelming sense of smugness.
I would like to reply with the smugness, though, that suddenly you feel hungry.
Well,
You
if
can
you
see
may want
what
to
I
put
was
something
bringing up.
No, I knew. I'm perfectly aware. That's why I do it at all times. Not while we're
Well,
on
some of
campus
us do.
anyway.
Well,
But yes,
anyway,
I hope you find no objections with Wolf having one.
I don't.
Good. But yes, it'll let us know like how we're all feet, even at long distances, which will be very, very good in Anakapura.
Hey, does this work? Wolf's gonna pinch himself.
Ow?
We will not feel it, but we will know that you have been harmed. But it's sort of vague as well. Like I wouldn't know what exactly happened. I just know that you had a bit of a distressing moment.
Wolf seems to just ponder watching it spin around his head.
Do not worry, it won't get in your way if you are in the middle of one of your sparrings. So it will just float around you harmlessly and avoid most things that are coming after it. Except for you. You will be free to reach up and grab it as you will.
And don't worry about losing it. I can generally tell where they are at all times.
Indeed.
How am I gonna lose it? It's following me.
Well, I mean, if you take it off your head,
Yes, it doesn't float around you at all times if you take it down.
or if someone nicks it off you.
Yes,
Actually, that's
a bit
impossible.
more difficult.
No, it is possible. You can grab on stone.
Yeah, it takes
Not off of someone else's head.
Yeah, you can.
No, you
I
can
believe-
with steel maneuver. It's just more difficult than a normal steel maneuver.
I think there's also a special set of gloves specifically for stealing iron stones.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You can
So, you
technically
know.
steal them, but
Admittedly, you're probably gonna notice someone try to steal a floating thing around your head easily.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that.
I mean, I guess unless it goes behind you, but
it's hard to do it because of the way that it's around you. But it's possible.
As much as Silas has sort of gone over the secondary features, its primary feature is that it allows me to
Allows us.
borrow some of your talent.
Wait, what?
You know how you are massive and huge, and, meaty, and I am wafer thin.
I mean, he looks immediately to Silas, who's taller than him.
You're thick, huge.
You're
That
fat.
means you are strong. You are strong. You are strong, and you are stout.
I've heard of lighter ways to call people fat.
Yeah, it basically allows me to be like that for a half second. If the push comes to shove,
Yes. Keep in mind, it does not take it from you. It just
It's
allows
like it's like
sharing.
it's like duplicating a laser. It's just sort of mirroring a reflection. So if I ever get poisoned or stabbed in the chest, I can borrow some of your big meatiness. It's quite helpful.
I must say,
I'm not a list.
I know, but yes, it allows us to call upon your strength if we are in need of it, without taking it from you. Just like you would be able to call upon my powerful mind in order to resist things that are attacking your own.
I think that'd be fine. I already broke that illusion before.
Yes, but not all things are that easy.
Despite the fact that no one else in the group could just shatter it, I don't think.
Yeah, I think as much as you like stroking your own ego, I think he's good. I think
Funny.
more. I think
More-
more.
But
More
Silas
notably,
figured
I
it
think you'd be
out.
able to borrow my agility.
That's
More it's funny because Wolf is now overconfident about his will save. He's got a -1.
God.
I think I'll manage. Dies
The
immediately.
point is he nat 20 the will save.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think he's brilliant. The idiot savant.
Yes. There. That is what it'll do, and more importantly, it is a gift to show our friendship. Wouldn't you say?
Wolf nods.
Not a gift.
I'm glad you accept.
J-Mac, I need to add something to my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf needs to hit the gym. Everyone keeps calling him fat.
You're not fat. You're just thick, meaty, large man.
And I feel like stout worked better.
I mean, Wolf's
Yes.
like, the thing is, Wolf's not even that stout. He could just somehow just take a hit from any. I mean, certainly he's stouter than Silas is, but that's not a particularly difficult task.
Stouter than most of the people.
He just gets run over by like a full carriage convoy, and everyone goes, "Oh my God, he's dead!" No, he's not. He just got back up. He's okay, folks.
The
Maybe
point,
like
the, point,
slightly implanted.
the point is the kind of hit that would knock someone out would just kind of make Wolf like winded for 6 seconds. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm
Good. So yes. All right.
there's a question if he even has a brain to be concussed, but that's a different question.
There's yes, but
I mean, there's something in there. Just, it's just not clear what it is. Where's J-Mac? Charge! We've got an adventure. Also, ding.
I don't want to do it right now. You will level up in Anakapura, I'll tell you that much. Not at the end of it, but in it. But I want to do it at a moment.
So far we've literally just been at school. We've had our first class.
But you did fight a boss.
That's it. I've won like 4 fights so far, Tinder.
He did fight a boss, it just happened to be a very easy boss. As Sidely mentioned afterwards, yeah, that thing probably should have had immunity for the crits, but it's cool.
I mean, it worked well for the story because Wolf's now crit both fights, like 2 fights in a row, just first thing.
Yeah, basically. It's like, hey, you have hit
Look,
points?
it was
No.
clearly designed with weak points in mind for the student body.
It wasn't meant for the student body. It was an invader.
I mean, it's meant for someone's body,
Well, clearly it was meant for my hammer.
evidently. Hopefully, on the commercial, be slightly more challenging.
I look forward to killing everything in 2 hits instead.
I'm just gonna have to start relying on those weird gremlin abilities, which like redirect attacks.
I mean, that'd be pretty terrifying for the group.
It would
Right,
be, I'm
well,
not
we
gonna do
we
that.
now know what we're going to be facing.
No, maybe, but no,
And
you
this is
no.
why I'm glad I'm back, Klein.
That would no offense to like everyone else, but that killed most of our team PC.
Yeah.
We have like
Bada,
2
bada,
people who
bada,
have
swing
6
time.
points.
Listen, I'm sure if Aaron punched me hard enough, I'd fall over.
No, I can't do a point of damage.
You can do it for 1 non-lethal.
Yeah, that one attack would knock me unconscious twice over with 1 remaining.
That Wolf's attack.
Oh, wolves. Okay, not mine.
Yeah,
Big
Wolf
old
just,
hammer.
Wolf just swang for 13 damage. A perfectly average 13.
The rest of the things I want to do in my downtime, J-Macker, is study my weird item I found.
Capital W,
Yeah,
right?
and if the guy ever calls in, I'll do for him.
Cool. If you want to, as you've maybe noticed, there are 4 other things. Actually, you've discovered an additional one. To add that in.
Wait, what?
It's not a surprise, but there won't be a surprise when I write it down.
Okay.
In fact, it doesn't really count as an ability, but it's technically one.
Oh, it's alter shapey abilities?
Yes. It's unwieldly as word. Technically, yes. Thank you, Google Translate.
Also, was it a terrifying thing to combine with a chronomancy? Was a
Yeah.
terrifying thing to combine with chronomancy?
Conjuration,
Why conjuration?
or specifically summoning,
Speed up? Oh, of it.
because
Yeah,
you can
mass haste.
because you can summon it like in stop time, and one of the biggest penalties of like conjuration summoning is time consumption. It's hard to do combat summons. It just takes so
But
long.
stopping time isn't the only form of chronomancy out there.
No, but slowing things down or speeding them up. You speed up your summons. You slow down enemies. Your summons wail on them. You shorten the time that it takes to summon your
Yeah.
summons.
You know what would be great combination with chronomancy? Terramancy. Imagine you've been slowed down while a hastened boulder is barreling toward you.
It's at least pretty scary.
Yeah.
I have considered, by the way, which I always thought was what I thought was hilarious. Chronomantic Blood Rager.
Here.
Oh wow, kind of a good thing we're calling this session early, because I just realized my my Roll20 is still doing the thing where if I try to roll something, it just freezes up entirely unless I have an entirely different window open.
Oh, lovely.
Weird.
And somehow we've managed to go this entire session without me rolling anything.
It's true. There's been a lot of rolling. Also, considering that you might want to start pairing up with some of your classmates, I'm going to start revealing their team or their companion abilities.
Yeah.
I still need to make one for Aster. He's harder because he doesn't do a lot.
Wait, people are already pairing up with our classmates? Wow,
Oh.
no one's asked me out yet.
That's if Ash wouldn't be the one to ask someone else out first.
I'm not answering that question.
Ah yes, my greatest enemy. Notepad to Roll20 formatting.
Oh, okay, that's obnoxious.
Oh,
Yeah, and I...
One more thing that I just remembered
Mhm.
that kept getting off my mind. Silas is going to not do more work at what's it called over the.
Miss.
He's instead going to be selling his spellcasting services.
I do want to put. Are you doing this at the school or are you going to do it in a nearby town?
He's
So I
going to
do
do it
have
at the
to point-
school because most of his stuff is sort of short term, and it's better for like academic things. Like hey,
Sure.
you need someone to wander around with you and carry, or like I can cast for you a moment of greatness. So here, have a nice just boost of smart on your test or something.
I suppose, yeah. The only real issue is there's a lot of people on campus who can kind of offer that sort of service. You have
Yeah.
a lot of competition. If
Okay.
you want, though, you could give me what would essentially be a working role, but use diplomacy. Since you're kind of having to convince people, why should they go with Verinar Inc.
Oh, of course, absolutely. That seems perfect.
20s.
Yeah.
Be
Plus,
closest.
I'm offering the somewhat unique. I'm sure there's not as many of psychic identification and everything.
I suppose, yes, the psychic identification is very useful. It's just the whole entire I can cast moment of greatness sort of thing. Not
Yeah,
very.
realized I was going to offer heightened awareness for people, but personal. So, well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you're not an alchemist who can get around that. Gotta love
Yeah,
extracts.
I guess I'll do this all 6 days. So, you want 6 checks for this?
Yes.
You poor fool.
For one.
6.
No. Actually,
That's a lot of. Yeah. The worst I got was a 7. That's correct.
Were you trying to copy my equation?
Yeah, basically.
The only reason is that you kind of multiply by 100, divide by 100 is because it's set up to.
I missed the divide by 100. Okay.
Yeah, the reason it's set up that way is just so it only leaves 2 decimal points. It doesn't kind of keep scrolling forever.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
If you just do the division by 7, though, it will just give you the raw gold value,
Mhm.
and then you just stop after 2 points. That's basic. Because basically what I did with that equation is I took the raw number, multiplied it by 100, then asked it to round to the nearest decimal point, and then divided again, so it did 2 point something.
Mhm.
It's basically just me messing with the rounding, though. That's what that equation does.
Cool.
If you plan to make this a regular thing, I can give you I can just copy paste you the equation.
Might, but probably not going to be too much.
I've got it set up to it's literally just reading Wolf's character sheet, so it's like reading his craft 2 skill, or it's reading his survival skill. I forgot how good my Magus build was. It was actually a really good build.
Which one?
Ren, who I was planning to use instead of Wolf before.
Yes.
My Mind Blade Battle Dancer, as it was. Or, as it basically was going to eventually end up being, the hoverboard psychic Magus. Yeah.
Well, we've seen I suppose it's only one. We haven't actually seen any more psychics than we have in any other campaign, considering we have Captain.
I mean, I could definitely use them again at another point. The point is actually surprisingly decent build, at least off the bat. For example, they started off with stuff like this, which is pretty good. Non-lethal magical mace they can summon.
Pretty useful.
I feel like Maguses are always quite strong to begin with, though.
Yeah. I mean, they do.
Or
They do have some of the strong
or that, which is
spells.
pretty. His spells, meanwhile, were actually very different than you.
Mm-hmm.
He had Windy Escape. Okay, that's fair. Just turn into a cloud of wind.
Yep.
And Monkey Fish.
No, that makes sense.
He was a spontaneous cast, not a prepared cast like a normal Magus. Those were his 2 spells.
Yeah, I can see.
He was a very agile. He was a chaotic, good, agile Magus. His starting feats included dodge and mobility, because that's good.
Have time to run around and just.
He would have been interesting because starting at level, think 3 for us, he would have been able to, with his greatsword or whatever weapon he summoned, full attack with it, taking multiple attacks per turn. Basically, 2-weapon fight using just a great.
Jeez, that's silly.
It was good, especially given we're in a campaign where we wouldn't get extra attacks really.
Unless you're a monk, you just get all the slap.
No, in his case, so he would get 2 attacks with a greatsword at level 3, and that would be all his attacks. Well, 3 attacks, I suppose, if he ever started doing combat casting as well.
Which I'm sure he would at some point.
Possibly, though Psychic's not great for doing spell combat. You kind of have to deal with really high DCs for casting, and
Yeah, unless you do your focus thingy.
Yeah, but then you're costing your to hit, so
they were fun though. And eventually you'll be doing flyby attacks.
pretty useful.
So maybe Silas will get the ability to throw Wolf and he can do, well, not quite flyby attacks.
I mean, he might.
The main thing is a fun character concept that may just come out of the box again at some point because it's fun.
What level is Delicate?
3.
Or I'm afraid.
Oh, 4.
It might be
Yeah.
3 for psychics.
True, though.
It's not even on the psychic list. The fuck? That seems a bit off.
And if it's something you end up wanting, I could definitely see Silas having it at least.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Janek, you like also the maneuver I sent earlier?
Yes.
The groundbreaker.
Which,
Oh no. Okay,
One
no,
thing-
they do get it.
is it just not on the list?
Yeah, it's just not. It's just not listed on the actual spec.
Yeah, for those, hold on, lungs. For those of you, I don't think anyone else here took the combat class, but one of the things that I would start experimenting with later is, obviously, there's the thing with, like, if you have combat feats and you have stamina, you can do the coolie things. I would start kind of using that more, just to kind of give more martial people a level playing field. If you have ideas for, like, some kind of weapon technique that you... Actually, this also goes for you, Big B, that's your name. I don't mind
For a
that.
magic trick.
Yeah, if you have
Okay.
something in mind that you would think, this feels like it'd be fitting if I could spend, like, I don't know, X amount of stamina to say, like, I don't know, do like a sweeping attack with something, so I could target, like, 3 people in front of me, but, you know, take an ass ton of stamina. Something like that. Or, you know, perhaps, rather than having to spend feats and say, oh, I mean, sure, I could spend an entire, 2 feats to get this, I don't know, improved dirty, or... you know, improve disarm, but I'm never really going to use it. Instead, I could have, like, a specific thing with a weapon where I can make a disarm attempt, maybe with something else. Like Zorro.
Yeah, that'd be useful.
I believe, what was it you suggested, Dark? Hit the ground and create a bunch of difficult terrain while also knocking people down?
It was a class feature I've never seen anyone ever use before. It's a cool one.
It's just, it feels so crap for a 13th level
Yeah,
class
it was-
feature.
As a rage
No, it's not a rage power. It's actually something that for one of the archetypes replaces your fighter weapon training.
How really?
Yeah,
Well,
it also-
Yeah, because the only one I know about is Smash the Ground with the Barbarian.
This comes from like Foe Hammer or something, which is like a dwarven racial thing for fighter.
Yeah, Foe Hammer.
Like that. I suggest it though. It's a thing. It's kind of cool. Like I smash the ground and my square and every adjacent square becomes difficult terrain, and all enemies fall prone. Or well, reflex save or fall.
Yeah, so it's like a full round action, kind of Thunderstomp.
Kind of, yeah. Just on, centered on me.
Yeah, but at level 13 as a full round action, and it's
Garbage.
and DC 15 flat.
You got better uses for your time.
Yeah, especially as a fighter, because at that point you've got 3 attack. You've got 3 attacks.
Or more.
Yeah, or more. Which as a foe hammer, you might actually want to do 2-weapon fighting for hammers.
Yeah, if you see stuff like that where it's like, why the fuck is that a 15th level combat class feature? That's also another good choice for a combat technique.
Yeah. The other stuff with foe hammer is alright, but actually, yeah, the other stuff with foe hammer really, incentivizes 2-weapon fighting with it, because of rhythmic blows. Every time you hit a target, you gain an additional +1 on your attack roll, which stacks each time you hit them. So, if you're 2-weapon fighting at 9th level, you potentially have, 5 attacks by then.
Alternatively, you
Or,
do DC 15 smashy thing. Woo.
Yeah.
And it's cool, I'll give it that, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
No, don't be bold.
Okay, so you got the size alteration in the rent. Okay.
Yes.
And size alterations.
Now you just have to discover 3 other things. I believe that's... Oh my god, spell. I believe that's everyone in the class given their companion members on now.
Let's have a little look-see.
Some are better than others because some people are very hard to think of when their main thing is I punch really good to make people bleed.
I punch good.
Look at you, Ocarin. He's also just not much a team player, I suppose. Hold on, let me roll his attack so I'll be sure.
That sounds good.
Admittedly, his acid thing's once per day, but otherwise that's 10 damage and then 2 bleed. Oh, 10 including the bleed, but
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's also
Hey,
not
this
close
is-
on arm straight.
This is so Bigby.
Mm-hmm.
I loaded up Dragon's Dogma, and I was looking at my pawns that I had available to me for summoning because I'm going to Bitter Black Isle. Guess who I found?
Mm-hmm.
I found Big B.
Oh.
You're a shield warrior. You're coming with me, Big B.
Yay.
Yeah. Jamin.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Would you want it to be a flat DC? Do you think it'd be better to be a scaling DC?
Scaling. Definitely scaling.
Then how would you want to go for the generic equation of half level plus ability score mod? Or because the generic scaling?
Yeah, probably the half level plus, for this case, definitely your strength. I've never really been a big fan of flat DCs.
So that then would become the...
Yeah. I'm not sure how much stamina that would cost. I would say a decent amount considering it's an area thing. Probably 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, probably a decent amount of stamina.
Yeah, the point is these are they're supposed to be trump cards you can kind of pull out in the middle of a fight. Rather than, I'm gonna spam.
I can accept 4 stamina if that's okay with you.
Probably say 3. Still lets you use it a decent amount of times.
For whenever Wolf has this as a thing.
Yeah.
There you go. This is a PM box for you now.
Yes, which I'm gonna save because it's a good one. Most of the ones that I've thought of so far have been kind of, the martial arts things that you get from movies. Hold on, where's my... Fuck did I name it? I think I named it something dumb because I like doing that and it never helps me find things. Yes, I named it, this is called growth. What the fuck? Anyway, one of the ones that I was looking at was Whirlwind Kick, where it's the sort of thing, that kind of thing we do where they get up into hands and spin their legs around?
Mm-hmm.
That thing.
Oh.
With the advantage of it also doing full damage versus swarms.
Yeah, this is now the ability that whenever it's done.
Smoosh.
I could have left the line in about breaking the hardness of the floor, but my hammer already is going to do that anyway, just with its base damage, so it's kind of...
Yeah.
I can technically put that in, but the thing is, unless the floor is made of adamantine, I'm breaking that. You just beat the hardness of the floor. Most floors have a hardness of 5 or 8. Even the steel floor is only a hardness of 10.
Maybe you're finding some really hard floor. That'd be very good to combine with the hammer from Lost Legacy.
Yeah, base of destruction.
Fuck your floor.
But yeah, it's a fun idea for a power though. Just bring the hammer.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name for Princeton's first ability.
Can't remember what I put there.
The Messiah of Self-Care.
Hey, you haven't learned of it as past. Admittedly, you could give me a knowledge local if you want to. I know you're garbage at it, but who knows, maybe you'll roll high enough.
Yeah, maybe. I'll give it a go.
Oh, knowing nerd.
Admittedly, Mary's has been revealed for a while.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that second ability of hers is very, very strong.
Yeah, which, especially if you're doing a ritual of some kind.
Well, but could be used for
Mm-hmm.
overlap.
Also, geez, Princeton didn't expect you to make people angry at each other.
How did you not expect that?
not like that. I feel like that's not something Princeton would actively do.
I mean, he's probably not purposely doing it.
Yeah, he
you're
he
really
seems like
good
he
at that,
annoys people, yes, but enraging people to attack each other and not him.
It would have been a lot more impressive if he didn't roll a 2. But yeah, Princeton might have some hobbies.
Oh God. Well, we'll
Bruvel
see.
doesn't have companion ability.
No, Bluebell just farts some people. That's her companion ability.
Neither does Aster.
I need to think of something for Aster. I'll tell you, if you want to know what Aster is, so he is statted out as a class, I just haven't put much thought into his thing, because,
Interesting.
I presume he's some form of caster,
no, he is in fact a kineticist.
which is a form of caster.
I mean, yeah,
They're a
technically he
psychic
can cast
caster.
spells.
Kineticist is the only psychic non-caster.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
They don't have spells. It's all
He,
abilities.
he was literally using spells.
he has stuff which stands in for spells. He has the, Elemental Focus Fire, which lets him cast Spark, Flare, Light as cantrips, and then he has the thing which lets him basically do Burning Hands.
Yeah.
Other...
Cone,
Sorry?
you got the spray infusion, I believe.
Fan of Flames, yes. But chances are anything that he'll give will be either something centered around fire or him basically... His feat change so far is Endurance and Die Hard. So, as per most kineticists, he can...
I made a
I'm
good
just saying, it
friend.
sounds oddly close to Wolf.
Yeah, it's a popular feat change.
Yeah, it is. There's an entire fighter archetype gives that 2 free at first level.
I'm just pointing. Well, I know because Wolf got a level of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you have any suggestions, Tinder, for
Yeah,
something you might want to see, I'd gladly take it on board.
I've no idea.
Big day is I'm also going to be taking levels in kineticist.
Oh right,
Actually.
yeah. Oh dear.
So we'll have Earth and Fire. Magma time.
Yeah, Robert would be good for traveling. I will also note going on certain landmarks, like up in the mountains, may increase your sight for a little bit. Mostly
that
around the
makes
mountains,
sense.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Think of it like Civ mechanics.
Oh, love.
Not that there's really any hills in the middle of us to go up, but
Yeah, it's
whatever.
just a massive set of plains.
It's like a big bowl.
Yeah, which makes sense for a floating country,
Mm-hmm.
walking country.
Yeah, it does both technically. My notice is basically an all-terrain country. But chances are, if it comes to, we want to pair up with another group, it'll either be one of the 2 groups that are there, or perhaps even one of the other classes. Because I imagine Rose will somehow want to bring along Roland.
Potentially.
I don't think I've ever met Roland.
Not yet, no. He was
Same.
vaguely present at the, the club fair, but other than that, not much. But you might meet him if, Rose somehow Finland goes away of dragging him into this. Maybe you could just travel as a big company, and then just split off to do your own thing when you get closer to shit.
That's probably more likely.
Yeah. And those maybe Silas can go, I'm big boss now. You report to me.
I mean, that might be what he's doing. Directing people where to go, where to search and that.
So what do people think so far is going to be the surprise twist, as there always is, to the floating country?
It's not uninhabited.
I mean, you have
Sounds
been told
about
that there are animals there at least,
Well, yeah.
but people, not sure. I suppose you also know there's Fae.
Yeah, that's going to be
Do they count? Can Fae own homes?
Yeah, they can own a home.
technically.
So it's usually they're the ones who are by anyone else catching people's attention.
Yeah, there's I got a few questions about a lot of things going on around.
Fair enough. I imagine you definitely would.
Yeah.
Currently,
I'm
you're the one
sorry.
in main mystery mode.
I'm sorry, sideline.
No, but don't be sorry. What do you want? I signed up for this crap.
Who is Winky Face Man? What?
Given all these abilities, you're basically giving Silas his sort of targets, as it were, to add to his inner circle.
Who was Winky Face Man? What's
Don't
that? What's that from?
Don't know.
Out of
But-
character, Erin received some notes with a winky face, and she thought it was someone
right.
else. And then it's like, no, that wasn't me. And she was like, oh,
Right, it's from some notes you got. Right, okay.
with a capital and an accent.
That also reminds me, I have another thing that I need to check.
The thing. Yeah, now that you have detect psychic significance, you might find yourself going a little bit faster, I can tell that much.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
gonna
desperately wondering,
do
why
that
wasn't
already.
he doing that?
Yeah, I know.
It's okay, you're dealing with spontaneous caster cantrip.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I had the same thing with Sarah, where I kept forgetting to take precipitation.
Sarah.
It's like, why don't I have precipitation? It's like,
I feel like cantrips as well. It should be a lot easier to get a thing that gives you a cantrip.
I mean, I don't think pages of spell knowledge do, but if that was
They do, but I think they're just very expensive.
well, I mean, first level is 1,000 gold. So if you were to craft it yourself, it'd be 250. I'd say if you were going by how that price calculation ended up, 250 gold pieces for a permanent cantrip.
I guess that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you desperately wanted the cantrip, I don't
Yeah.
think I'd take it for so I could have like I don't know, spark.
No,
At that
No,
point,
no,
I might as well buy, like,
But clearly, you need to make the spell page of open close.
maybe if I was like a tiny little person, in which case, yes, I could see open and close being very important. Otherwise, it's like
It's very good to hand to a familiar.
it's true.
I've also got to think about what I want to make as my spells.
It's
Like
true.
what
Do
spells I
you-
want to invent.
You always have the option for bigger hand.
That's true, yeah.
This is the
I
story
could
of
just
how
go
Big
for the...
B's mighty hand was formed.
Yeah, basically. I could go for those spells.
Will we get copyright claimed if it's considering your name is Big B?
No.
It's like I would do it anyway.
Besides, Silas would name it the Hand of Varanus.
It's true. But mentally, I'll always be calling it Big B's hand. I believe quite a few people have classes where they have to make their own spells.